the meeting of the District Columbia Board of Ethics and Government Accountability to order. I'm Norma Hutcheson, the BEGA Chairperson, and due to COVID-19, this meeting is being held virtually via WebEx. Joining me today for this meeting are board members Charles Nottingham, Melissa Tucker, Felice Smith, and Darren Sobin. Together, we constitute a quorum for this meeting. Since it was first posted, this meeting agenda has not been changed, and I would like to have a motion to adopt the agenda so that we can proceed.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion, questions? All in favor that we adopt today's agenda, the agenda for today's meeting, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed, please say nay. And hearing none, the board has adopted the agenda for today's meeting.
So, Madam Chair, I have a request. Since I've been unable to access the documents for today's meeting, is it possible that when the board is discussing a particular document that we put it up on the screen for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great.
I think as long as I could share, I can't get this my video. Hey, everybody.
Hi, Rochelle.
Happy New Year. Sorry for my late delay. Technology is having fun today.
I know the feeling.
It's wonderful as long as it works. Okay, so is it possible to put the draft minutes from the December 3rd meeting up?
I don't have privileges to share. Ashley, can you give them to me? If not, I'll send you all the documents. Okay.
1 second. Let me give you privileges.
Thank you.
Karen, I had sent them to your dc.gov email address. Do you prefer them to one, or is it not?
I asked for the DC bar email address because my lockout is complete. It's not just the iPad; it's also the account.
Okay, let me send it to your DC bar account right now.
Okay.
Okay, Rochelle, you should be able to share now.
Okay, so up first is the minutes and the agenda. Is that what we're doing next?
Yeah, so we can do the agenda and then let's do the minutes.
The agenda is adopted.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Agenda's done.
Excellent. Thank you. Alrighty then. Let's share my screen. Just want to share a picture. Sorry about that. This is the way it's set up here. Okay, hold on. Did you share anything? No?
No, not yet.
Okay, sorry about that. One minute. Did it middle up, huh? I don't know, actually.
Well, go ahead. There's probably enough people to vote on them without my voting on them.
Do you have a copy of them?
No.
Oh, I thought Rush emailed them to you with everything, with a set of documents this morning. It's in there. Hold on.
She sent them to my DC.gov account, not my DC bar account. I'm also.
That's I can send them to you right now, right away. No problem.
Yeah, I just forwarded it. I just forwarded all the documents that are in the Dropbox to your DC bar account. So hopefully
Sorry about you getting locked out of your DC bar email address. It's still they've done a great job overall.
I didn't realize I would have just copied both of your emails on there when I.
No worries. So I am going to have to bring my iPad in for a tune-up, I guess, because it's really, really acting up at this point. Is there anybody that's going to be there, like, before the next meeting next month that I could stop by?
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll connect you with our program assistant, and he regularly goes in to check on the mail and, and look for, anything that we received and handle supplies. So I'll just arrange for you to have your iPad dropped off or for him to meet you, and he'll handle it from there. So not a problem at all.
Thanks.
Any day you choose of the week, we can just coordinate with you. All right?
Okay.
We'll reach out to you after the meeting. Okay. And I don't think I can share my screen. I apologize. Normally I was able to, but won't let me.
Well, it sounds like that that they've been forwarded to his DC bar.
Yeah, they just haven't come through yet. Again, if you want to go ahead, that's fine. They'll be here in a minute. But...
Okay. Well, in the meantime, let the rest of us could go ahead and review the draft minutes from December 3rd. Please. Okay. And if you've had a moment to do that, would a member please make a motion to approve the minutes from the December meeting?
I'll offer the motion to approve the minutes from the December meeting.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we consider approving the minutes from the December 3rd meeting. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to approving those minutes, please say nay. Okay. Next, we'll have a report from the Director from the Office of Open Government. Director Allen, please proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairperson Hutcheson and members of the board. I am Niquelle Allen, Director of Open Government. Before I begin my report on the activities of the Office of Open Government, I must mention the disturbing events that occurred at the U.S. Capitol yesterday. The perpetrators of the insurrection and those who supported them made a mockery of our democracy with their lawless, dangerous activities. America is a country and an idea. We, as government officials and attorneys, have a responsibility to uphold the U.S. Constitution and respect the rule of law. The chaos of yesterday emphasized the importance of our work here to ensure that this government is open, transparent, ethical, and an example of good, just governance. Our commitment to ensuring our charter is carried out cannot and will not be deterred. I would like to commend my staff for continuing to serve the residents of the District of Columbia yesterday, despite the chaos we all witnessed. The Office of Open Government resolves and continues to fulfill its mission of ensuring that all persons receive full and complete information regarding the government affairs of the District of Columbia and the actions of those who represent them. I'll start with our Open Meetings Act and Freedom of Information Act advice. OOG has not issued any advisory opinion since the board's last board meeting. The OOG continues to provide formal and informal advice regarding the operation of the Open Meetings Act and Foia during the public health emergency in writing and via email. With respect to Foia advice, formal Foia advice, OOG's Chief Counsel and Foia Officer Johnny Barton and OOG's General Counsel Rashi Raj continue to provide BEGA's pending Foia requesters with a letter detailing the changes to the Foia requirements and the impacts of those changes on their Foia request. The next item is a complaint from Ms. Brazil. As requested by the board, on December 9th, I, along with Attorney Barton, held a teleconference with Ms. Brazil. We discussed her concerns about the Board of Elections post-election audit that she expressed during the board's last meeting. We reiterated the OOG's strong commitment to government transparency and our statutory authority and limited jurisdiction. As you recall, we informed Ms. Brazil that we did not have jurisdiction to pursue her complaint, which was an effective dismissal on the Open Meetings Act issues. To substantiate this, we provided her with copies of several OOG advisory opinions that were dismissed because of lack of jurisdiction. During our discussion, Ms. Brazil stated that she knew her best option was to seek injunctive relief through the courts. However, she did not take legal action on the mistaken belief that the courts were closed due to the pandemic. Ms. Brazil requested and was provided with a copy of the Open Meetings Act legislative history. She later informed us and reiterated before this meeting that she would provide BEGA with additional materials to consider and to assist her with her concerns. I encourage her to contact either office in the interim if she has any additional questions or concerns, and we will help her. The next item, Informal Open Meetings Act and Foia advice. We continue, even through the holiday, to experience a high volume of requests for advice and assistance on the Open Meetings Act and Foia since the commencement of the public health emergency. The office received 12 requests for Open Meetings Act advice. The office responded to 21 requests for FOIA advice and 6 requests for assistance with open-dc.gov. The next item is training and outreach. On December 1st, 2020, I, along with Chief Counsel Barton and Attorney DeBerry, attended the 42nd Annual COGL Conference plenary session. The webinar topic was Voting in Times of Crisis. The next item is the DC Bar FOIA webinar. On December 3rd, I, along with OOG legal staff, attended the DC Bar webinar, Training Basics of Filing and Litigating Freedom of Information Act Request 2020. The webinar discussed the proper submission of FOIA requests, the issues that arise in FOIA litigation, and the Federal Privacy Act requests and litigation. It was a very well done seminar, and we all enjoyed it. The Public Records webinar on December 8th, 2020, Attorney Barton attended Slay the Public Records Request Dragon, Real Stories of Conquest webinar. The webinar was sponsored by GovQA, a provider of public records management systems. Topics discussed included managing public record requests, considering the pandemic, civil unrest, and future uncertainty. Open Meetings Act training number 3. On December 9th, 2020, I facilitated an Open Meetings Act Q&A webinar for DC Public Charter School Boards of Trustees and their points of contact. This session was the last of 3 trainings provided by the OOG to get the trustees up to speed with the Open Meetings Act. Local School Advisory Team compliance with the Open Meetings Act. On December 16th, 2020, I, along with Chief Counsel Barton and Attorney DeBerry, held a virtual meeting with Ebony Govan, Attorney Advisor for the District of Columbia Public Schools. The purpose of the meeting was to provide guidance and to ensure that all local school advisory teams fully comply with the Open Meetings Act. We are working with DC Public Schools to schedule additional training sessions to lessen future Open Meetings Act complaints about those bodies. Yearly FOIA report. Annually, District of Columbia agencies are required to submit a report to the mayor on their FOIA activities of the previous calendar year. The mayor transmits that report to the DC Council. The OOG assisted several agencies with completing their report, and Chief Counsel Barton and General Counsel Raj completed and timely submitted BEGA's FOIA report. On December 16th, Attorney DeBerry met with ABRA's FOIA officer and assisted him with completing that agency's FOIA report. Chief Counsel Barton and I also assisted the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment with their FOIA report. FOIA's 42nd Annual COGL Conference FOIA update. On December 11th, I, along with OOG staff, attended the COGL FOIA update session. Topics included how to balance existing laws pertaining to law enforcement agency records and the growing demand for more access to those very records. 2, what to do when statutes, policies, or rules require specific time responses to public record requests in the middle of a pandemic. 3, how to respond to records requests when so many public employees have been working from home and issued FOIA-related requests for body-worn camera footage. Next is ANC FOIA and ethics training. As the board is aware, the DC Code requires the OOG to provide a training session at least twice per calendar year on Advisory Neighborhood Commission obligations under the Freedom of Information Act, to which all commissioners shall be invited. On December 22nd, Chief Counsel Barton, Director Ford, and Attorney Cook met with Gottlieb Simon, the Executive Director of the Office of Advisory Neighborhood Commission. They discussed dates and content of these required trainings. The training dates have been scheduled for January 19th, 2021 and January 26th, 2021. The agencies will receive FOIA and ethics training on these dates. Mandatory cybersecurity training. On December 29th and December 31st, Chief Counsel Barton completed cybersecurity training for employees of the District of Columbia government. This course is mandatory for all DC government employees and contractors and includes information about identifying common cyber attacks, cyber safety best practice, and a working remotely training module. The last item, monitoring public body meetings. OOG continues to play an important role in ensuring that boards, commissions, and other public bodies successfully conduct business remotely. We are currently responsible for overseeing that approximately 292 public bodies comply with the Open Meetings Act, including 105 local school advisory teams. We continue to ensure the public's right of access to public meetings by monitoring public body compliance with the Open Meetings Act, and we are monitoring these meeting notices to ensure they provide remote meeting access to the pandemic and information for the public to observe those meetings. We are also attending those meetings remotely to observe as participants. The next item is litigation and legislative updates. Mayor's order extending public health emergency. On December 18th, 2020, Mayor Bowser issued Mayor's Order 2020-127. That order extends the public health emergency through March 31st, 2021. And the mayor is currently addressing the media about yesterday's event at the U.S. Capitol, and the mayor has announced that we are in a state of emergency in the District of Columbia for the next 2 weeks. DC FOIA tolling legislation. The DC FOIA Tolling Emergency Amendment Act of 2020 was signed by Mayor Bowser on December 22nd, 2020, and it expires on May 21st, 2021. During the legislative session held on December 15th, the Council of District of Columbia approved on second reading the FOIA Temporary Amendment Act of 2020. These measures adjust the time that agencies must respond to FOIA requests during the public health emergency. They restart the FOIA clock as of January 15, 2021, but allow for an extension of FOIA deadlines when the need to conduct an on-site review of records could present a significant risk of health or safety during the COVID-19 pandemic. The January 15, 2021 start date will also ensure that any requests received since March 11, 2020, the first day of the declared public health emergency, do not immediately come due. OOG will make sure that DC FOIA officers are informed of these new deadlines by sending out a notice. Administrative matters. During its January 4th, 2021 organizational meeting, the Council voted to remove BEGA and the subject matters of government transparency and ethics from the Committee of Judiciary and Public Safety, chaired by Charles Allen. The Committee on Human Services, chaired by Councilmember Brianna Doe, now has oversight responsibilities for BEGA. We appreciate the support and oversight of the OOG under the Committee of Judiciary and Public Safety, and under Chairman Allen's leadership, the committee members and the committee staff. We have enjoyed working with them. We look forward to continuing our statutory functions under the oversight of the Committee on Human Services. The last item is attorney advisor and trial attorney vacancies. During the week of December 9th, we interviewed candidates to fill our attorney advisor vacancy, and we intend to extend an offer to a candidate within the next few days. The trial attorney position vacancy was listed on December 18th. and will close on February 2nd, 2021. We can anticipate commencing the process of hiring that attorney sometime in February. This concludes the Office of Open Government's January 7th, 2021 report. I'd like to wish you all a Happy New Year, and please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Are there any questions for Ms. Allen before we proceed?
This, Madam Chair, Chip Nottingham here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just want to thank Ms. Allen for her presentation, and particularly her introduction. Talked about the horrible events that took place in our great city yesterday. And I don't normally comment on the news of the day, but I feel as a minority party representative on this bipartisan board, while I don't represent any political party, I don't normally talk about political developments. What happened in our city yesterday was so outrageous that I just want to go on record, making sure everybody knows that what happened yesterday did not represent the views or opinions of anyone that I know in D.C., especially any Republicans I know in D.C. or Democrats. It's a sad time. As a former chief of staff for 2 members of Congress and a congressional committee counsel, I spent some of the best professional years of my life in the Capitol complex, and to see what happened yesterday was outrageous. And for those of us who have been involved on the Republican side of the political equation, we like to think in D.C. about our great leaders and our great mentors being people like Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, great native son of the district, and even more recently Ronald Reagan and both Bush presidents. None of whom under their watch would this have ever happened, nor would it have ever been encouraged. And so I just want to go on record supporting the remarks of Ms. Director Allen, and also condemning the outrageous events at the Capitol and around the Capitol yesterday that do not represent in any way the political views of anybody in the District of Columbia that I've ever heard about, and certainly not the D.C. Republican Party, none of which for the record, supported the current president when he went through a primary in March of 2016 and received 0 delegate support. I was one of the leading vote getters at that primary, and I can attest that D.C. Republicans weren't with the president at that point in time, and they're not with him today. And what happened yesterday is just outrageous. And thank you for just giving me a few moments of personal privilege. Appreciate it.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate the comments from both you and from Ms. Allen. Thank you. Okay, next we'll move to a report from our Director of Office of Government Ethics, also by WebEx. So, Director Ford, please proceed.
Good morning, Chairperson Hutcheson and members of the board, and Happy New Year. I apologize. My house is a construction zone. So I don't know if there was jackhammering or housebreaking in the background, but we will weather through. So my name is Rochelle Ford, and I am the Director of Government Ethics. I am pleased today to present this report on the activities of the Office of Government Ethics, or OGE as it's known. First, an update on the status of our operations with a focus on our investigative and enforcement activities. The information that will be reported today regarding OGE's cases will not reflect any status changes that may occur as a result of any action taken by the board at today's meeting. So first, with the number of open investigations by status, we have 49 matters currently open, and none in the stages of negotiation and none at the show cause stage, for a total of 49. We have 2 matters that are still pending as undocketed. They are complaints that are either just received or that relate to matters that we are trying to best ascertain how to refer or to handle. Next, with respect to pending and stayed matters, we have 32 matters that are closed pending collection. And we have 4 matters that are stayed pending OAG False Claims Act investigation or matters or cases rather. And we have 9 matters that are stayed pending Office of the Inspector General investigation, for a grand total of 33 matters that are pending to be resolved for payment or that are stayed. Next, we have regulatory matters, and we still have the 24 that are closed pending collection, and I'll speak more about this later today. Overall, looking at our statistics across time, we currently have 49 matters open, and last month we had 56. August we had 50. We currently have 12 investigations stayed, and last month we had 12, and the month before we had 13. These stats reflect that 3 matters were opened since the board last met, and the investigative team resolved 10 matters since the board last met. Next, I'll provide an update on trainings and outreach activity. As we have mentioned, and I want to once again emphasize, we are both focusing on ensuring that our staff engage in meaningful training to continue to enhance to meet our mission in our virtual status. And we are also enhancing our education and outreach program. And so we're beginning to work with different agencies and entities, as was referenced by Director Allen. I'll speak more on that in a moment. And so we will also be working to do outreach programs where we can provide tailored training that relates to the job duties of the agency and their mission, as well as partnering to identify problematic issues within certain agencies. So that's part of our outreach. So we'll speak more about that. First, during the month of November, almost all of our employees completed our mandatory cyber training, and the few who were not able to do that due to technical issues. All of the employees have completed the training now. The auditor completed the following training offerings by DCHR: administrative support and projecting a positive professional image, choosing the right interpersonal communication method to make your point, conquering the challenges of public speaking, making an impact with nonverbal communication, and the art and science of communication. General Counsel Raj attended the second half of a virtual conference entitled Women, Lawyers, and Leadership. On December 1st, 2020, the Council of Government Ethics Lawyers, or COGL, kicked off its annual conference remotely. COGL, I believe this was the 21st COGL conference, but the first remote conference due to the pandemic. Attorney Cooks, and myself, as long as the rest of the team, were able to attend virtual plenary sessions, as well as attend events on demand. So it was overall, I think, a useful endeavor, but we look forward to meeting in person again and networking with our other government ethics colleagues across the country. Next, trainings conducted by staff. Since the last board meeting, OGE conducted online training in November, and that was attended by 130 employees. OGE attorneys also provided 5 trainings on the following topics: social media, and that's the right one. Apologies, I think I might have the wrong one here. Sincere apologies. Yes, and then let's see. Here you go. Apologies. OGE attorneys conducted 3 trainings to include the monthly ethics training, 2 new employee orientations, and we will restart our ethics counselor brown bag series again this year and continue on with that. And as Director Allen mentioned, Chief Counsel Johnny Barton, Senior Attorney Advisor Cook, met with ANC Officer Gottlieb Feynman to discuss providing or joining the mandatory training. So we are joining along with OGE, who will be providing Foia training to provide ethics training to ensure that all ANC commissioners, and there are almost 300, receive basic ethics training before beginning off the year new. We intend to continue this going on every year, and we're partnering this with our virtual academy that we are going to conduct with OAG. Attorney Cooks and I met with OAG attorneys to develop the curriculum and plan out the training series for the virtual academies going forward for the year. So we look forward to engaging with the ANC commissioners and Simon Gottlieb to provide better training to district officials. Next, advisory or informal opinions. We provided approximately 39 responses to informal ethics advice, which is the same as the number reported at the last meeting. This number does not include responses we have provided to questions regarding the lobbyist and FDS e-filing systems. We did not issue any formal advisory opinions since the last meeting. Next, legislative updates. On January 6, 2021, the Council voted on committee assignments for Council Period 184. BEGA's oversight will now be handled by the Committee on Human Services, which is chaired by Council Member Brianne Nadeau. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Council Member Charles Allen and the staff of the Committee on the Judiciary and Public Safety for their insights and guidance and for their commitment to ensuring that BEGA is able to continue to meet its mission. It was a pleasure working with the committee. We are looking forward to working with Council Member Brianne Nadeau, who chairs the Committee of Human Services in the future. We will reach out to the Council Member's office this week to arrange a meeting. Next, administrative matters. The board's senior attorney advisor position was posted on December 18th, 2020, and will close on January 23rd, 2020. The position description has been uploaded to the Dropbox. After that, DCHR will forward resumes to the office administrator, and she will coordinate with the chair to begin the interview process.
Don't even think about applying, Rochelle. It's too late.
Wait a minute. Like you're reading my mind. The posting for the new attorney advisor, which we revised and upgraded to be standardized with DCHR's classification requirements, should be posted by tomorrow, and that will be open for 30 days. We look forward to bringing on a new attorney to assist us with moving along cases and to begin to train someone to assist in engaging in interviews and helping out enforce the matters. So it's an exciting time to join BEGA, we believe. Next, financial disclosure and lobbying registration program matters. With respect to the lobbying registration program, there was some activity reports apparently, but the main issue is that on December 16th, OGE held a meeting with our lobbyist stakeholders to discuss e-filing system features and shortcomings, along with myself, Attorney Advisor King, Program Specialist Kosick, and Program Assistant Dow, met with different individuals from across the city. I guess it was a group of about 8 people. Overall, we received, or the system received, positive feedback with respect to its functionality and its search capacity. The main concern that was related to a lack of flexibility to revise previous filings, an unduly cumbersome design, and persistent system errors, so that information is not reliable, or there's a possibility that a penalty could be assessed in error. So we're working with Opto to pursue those matters. We do believe that we can resolve these matters, and we can also work with the stakeholders to design the system or to tweak the system and make it even more efficient. So we're looking forward to that. The next session that we intend to hold, and we will do an open call for that, will be to get some feedback on the legislative framework with respect to lobbying in the district, given that much has changed since the agency was created, the Ethics Act was passed. We believe it's a good time to look back at our statutes and ensure that we are, able to capture all lobbying activity that occurs in the district, so that the public can be assured of or be informed of who is meeting with lawmakers and decision makers in the district. With respect to auditing activity, the auditor has begun auditing both, or rather the last quarter's activity reporting registrations, and we are moving forward with that. Also, and most significantly, we have sent out 330 letters for garnishment with the district government, and we believe that we will be able to receive approximately $99,000 in revenue. We have collected $900 to date, but this process has just begun at the beginning of the year. We worked, I want to thank Auditor Tajuba and Program Specialist Kosick, along with Asia Stewart Mitchell and Tyrell Dow, who worked, that's the FDS team, and they worked to ensure that we captured everyone who had not reached out or made any attempt to file, and went ahead and gave them plenty of notice to have an opportunity to pay their files. So now we're going to seek to recoup those funds.
That's really excellent news, Director. Really excellent news. I mean, that's $99,000 of found money that a lot of other agencies have been unsuccessful in collecting in the past, and so it really stands out that you and your team were able to do this. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and again, I really appreciate you recognizing us. We are, and also I want to mention the efforts of DC Raj, who worked with the collections team in the unit to begin to get our collection activities forward. So we're getting people into the email box about our collection efforts where people are seeking to speak with us. And so we understand that there is a health crisis at these are difficult days, but at the same time, we want to, the district residents to be assured that we are going to collect all the revenue that we can to continue operating. Next, financial disclosure. Let's see, there were a few disclosure statements that were filed. As I mentioned, the main focus was sending out the garnishment memos to recover the money. And then the second information that I'm really pleased to announce is that we were able to have a significant upgrade to the e-filing system completed. After meeting with Octo and having a really good meeting to discuss some of the issues with the financial disclosure electronic filing system, Octo agreed to enhance the e-filing system to allow for multiple filings per year, as is required and mandated by district statute. So now council members can file their required November filing electronically as opposed to having to send in paper form. Former council member David Grasso was able to file his report after the system went live on the 23rd of December, and he was able to file his outgoing report on the 29th. So we're really pleased to see it working. And now when employees depart, they don't need to wait a year to report. They can go ahead and report in a timely fashion in accordance with the statute that they have terminated service with the district and have moved on to their next positions. So we're really excited about that, and we just want to thank Octo for working hard to get that done and on the quick turnaround. Okay. Lastly, Auditor Tajuba completed the council members' public financial disclosure statement audit within the November 15th filing and identified no major findings with any of the filings. And he has also completed the calendar year 2020 third quarter complaint complaint intake and processing audit. He also identified no major issues at all or had no findings that were worthy of report. Thank you, and that concludes OGE's January 7th, 2021 report. Any questions?
Yeah, I just had one question about your pending and state investigations by status. I think I missed a number here.
Oh, sure, no problem. Let me go back and read them. I'll tell you what should be in each box. How's that? Give me one moment. All right. There are 32 matters that are closed pending collection. No matters that are closed pending DC Superior Court case action. 4 matters stayed for OAG False Claims Act case. 9 matters stayed for OIG investigation. And 43 is the total. And there's nothing for district court cases.
Okay.
And I'll also send you these numbers as a final draft of our notes.
Okay. I had noted 33, and I didn't think that was the right arithmetic.
I understand. When your math won't let you go, I respect that. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions from Ms. Ford before we go on? Okay. If you would like to, the next thing on the agenda is public comment, and if you would like to submit a public comment for the meeting, please submit it. It should have been submitted by 11 o'clock today. Comments will be published with the January 7th meeting minutes. Okay. Next item is executive session, or non-public part of the meeting. This is to discuss ongoing confidential investigations pursuant to DC Official Code, Section 575B.114, to consult with an attorney legal advice to preserve the attorney-client privilege between an attorney and a public body pursuant to DC Official Code, Section 2-575B4A, to discuss personnel matters including the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, performance evaluation, compensation, discipline, demotion, removal, or resignation of government employees, appointees, employees, or officials pursuant to DC Official Code Section 2-575B10, and to deliberate on a decision in which the Ethics Board will exercise quasi-judicial functions pursuant to DC Official Code Section 2-575B13. May I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Okay. Any opposition? Okay, we will close this session and go into executive session and resume the meeting after our executive session. Thank you. Okay, I'm just waiting for the other board members. So far, I just see Mr. Nottingham and myself. And this is a executive session?
This is the public session.
Oh, okay, I'm in the wrong meeting. No wonder I don't see anybody else. Okay. We have 3 of our 5 board members are back. So I only want to report out that Ms. Tucker recused herself from the first item that we discussed in the executive session. And other than that, there's nothing else to report out. And with that, I'll adjourn the meeting at 1:12 p.m., January 7th. Our next meeting will be Thursday, February 4th, 2021 at noon. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It looks like all of us are back now. So everyone be safe, and that's it until next month.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.